Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think one of the big things, the biggest learnings that I have probably had has been around how to manage my energy levels. And that has been quite a long process to learn that. I think and I sort of keep learning the same lessons again and again and again. But now I feel like I have much better skills at managing my energy levels and letting those almost judge the kind of work I do and when I do it, and feeling like I get, not only that I get more done, but it's actually
better quality.
It's better quality. It's also more rewarding because I'm doing the work that I feel like doing at that sort of time, and it all, when I get it right, it really perpetuates.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. It's interesting in the context of thinking about anti-burnout, which is something you and I talk about quite a lot, just because you just see it so much, both in our own sort of networks, but also obviously in media and all sorts of different people, leaders who we're talking to, who are struggling to manage it in their team, and thinking about our work in terms of cycles and setting up the sort of environments to be able to manage those energy levels, which is something we obviously spend quite a lot of time thinking about when we're advising people on how to curate a work trip. Feels like it's sort of increasingly important.
Yeah, definitely. I think, the old world, so when I was chatting to lots of team leaders who would come on off-sites last year, and conversations we have now, the old world would be CEO or COO standing in front of everyone, cascading some information, lots and lots of content, and then everyone getting drunk. And as we know, research shows that you remember the last experience. So actually you've done this ton of work, you've got everyone together, there's the opportunity cost of being somewhere, and then the last experience is like everyone feeling ill or something. And I think the trend, and consumer trends obviously always come into the business world and so on, and so I think the trend generally among younger people, but that's across the board, is we have a far greater understanding now of how to nurture yourself and how that feeds into your work. And so actually what a wonderful investment in your team if you're invested in their well-being, and actually that runs through mitigating against burnout, but also just having a bit more of a consistency rather than these massive peaks and troughs, which are very dramatic, and so
they take a load of energy out as well when you have those troughs in, and then gearing people up.
And don't get me wrong, I'm probably somewhere in between, because it's really important to really celebrate, but there's different ways of doing it, and as we've talked about, for us the nature thing's very important as well. So you want your team to feel like you've really thought about the environment they're in. They're not just in some efficient box, windowless or otherwise, because it's down the road from, and it has to be about is this environment going to give you the best outcome in terms of how people connect, how ideas are started, and how people feel. Because otherwise, if the outcome is they go back to wherever they're working and it's a bad experience, that's also a terrible thing. So yeah, lots of food for thought.